A word for our listeners. Season 3 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1940s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our Commandos uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring Cullen Bricker, Ed Maudlin, Rob Jones, and Matt Quiett, with John Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Rob.
Hello.
Cullen.
That's me.
Ed.
Hi.
And John.
Hello.
All right. And John, we are back in World War II. We're going to pick up when?
A couple months after we finished in March, so we're going to be in June now.
Okay.
The Commandos escorted, I guess, are we going to do a recap?
Yeah, we should definitely do a recap.
So, I didn't bring up my notes. I didn't bring my notes because they're...
I mean, so we should do a recap.
Yeah.
We just won't do a recap, is what you're saying.
I remember exactly what we were doing, but I'm not going to tell you guys about it because I'm sure you know too.
I don't remember the name of the village, but we were in Belgium in a small village deep in the wilderness, or relatively near the German border.
Yeah.
Where you encountered a town that was run by an occultist, Dr. Van Dyke, who transformed the town into beings of eldritch horror, and then attempted to murder you. And you tried to fight back, but unfortunately they seemed to be immortal, and you let them finish enacting the ritual, and they opened a gate to whatever eldritch dimension the power he used came from. Somehow you all survived the night.
Explosives.
And the monsters just left you alone for some reason, and they all went to that other place, and you were able to walk away from that one.
Did we lose sanity from that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't actually do the rolls.
Do you want to do that now?
Let's do the rolls on that. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I thought we did. All right.
No, you rolled for sanity several times during the.
So I got to roll under my current sanity score?
Yeah.
I rolled under mine.
Nope. Yeah, rolled under.
Nope.
Under.
Muzzle tov.
So those that rolled under should roll 2d6.
Okay.
And those that failed 2d10.
Yikes, that's tough.
2d8. How about we do 2d8? Because you're right, that is tough.
Whopping 3.
7.
I lost 5.
I can find a D8.
It's the one with 8 sides on it.
8? The D8 has 8 sides?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
I see now it.
So is this the lose or gain?
Lose.
Did we gain?
Yeah, in this game we're all
No,
losers.
we didn't do that during the leveling
No, we
up
did not.
before the show.
You see an elder god, and then you gain sanity from it.
7. You lose 7. That's not too bad on D8 or 2D8. You did all right there.
Well, I thought we were back at the facility or something, but
Okay, so we've lost sanity.
Yes, now we've lost.
Clearly.
sanity.
Clearly we've lost sanity.
Before we talk about gaining sanity, or no, let's talk about that afterwards. So we get done with this. Are we going to gain sanity from succeeding in any form, shape, or fashion?
From the rest period, you mean?
No. Like when we ended the story of the Murder Town,
Yes.
Hypno Doctor Murder Town.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah. Did we succeed in any way, shape, or form?
No, you failed
Okay.
utterly.
So, before we go into the rest period where
Yeah.
we up some skills, as a reminder to our listeners, we are now on 7th edition. We will be running the game on their rules. We're going to flub this up a bunch because there's a lot of rules that have changed just a little bit. And when you play the same game with brand new rules, you tend to forget them.
Mix them up with the old rules.
Yeah, but as a note to our listeners, if you want our 7th edition Octung Cthulhu character sheets, the blank ones, and copies of the ones that we wrote on, you can get those over at our Patreon. We'll be putting those up. We actually had those styled and taken care of by one of our fellow podcasters, Roxy Thompson. She did the layout for those. So 7th edition didn't have a lot of the skills we need, like any of the skills we needed. So those got put on the sheet. So check those out over on our Patreon. This is a reminder to go support our Patreon if you like what you hear, because, we like to pay people eventually. We like to just cover our costs, really. So, John, we are resting for a couple months.
Yep.
There's an ensuing invasion of the lowland countries and France,
Yeah.
and that'll bump us to June.
Yep. So you guys had to basically you had to evacuate Belgium in order to avoid the coming invasion, and then you guys escorted Evie McCree and Frau Koppen back to England,
Okay.
where you have been resting for a while.
Where are we at in England? If you want to just say a base, that's fine.
Yeah, a military facility, probably, wherever.
Are we at an army or an air force base, or does it matter? I know that sounds silly, but I'm curious.
I'm going to go with Air Force.
Okay.
You guys are a special detachment, technically led by a member of the Air Force.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have. I'm imagining they would have stationed you there, because they plan on sending you out once you had a chance to recuperate, and they have a mission for you. So.
And are McCree and Koppen with us, or did they go somewhere else?
They went back to headquarters, which I imagine is in London,
Sure.
for. I forget there's so many secret organizations.
We're officially part of Section M.
Yeah.
Or they are, I guess.
They are, yeah.
Have
She
we been co-opted by Section M? Do we work for them now officially?
No, you don't officially work for them, but your orders are you're on special assignment to assist them when they request it. So that's how you've earned your several months downtime.
Okay.
Above and beyond the time you need to heal from whatever wounds that you had.
Okay.
Which I guess that's a good point. If anybody had lost hit points,
Yeah.
those would be healed up.
Cool.
Just as a bookkeeping note.
Excellent.
So like I said, you've been hanging around the base, kind of just getting by. Kauri, you've had.
Well, that's right. I didn't want to go back to England. This is bad. But I've got my talisman. I should be fine. Right?
Yeah, you should be fine. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be having the full effect that Frau Koppen intended it to have. You still have your nightly bouts of seeing the vision from the castle, where you're walking through the curtain and then into the darkness in the red eyes. But you've managed. Like it was hard for you to rest when you first came back, because the urges were stronger. The force of the dream was stronger. He was whatever it is trying to overwhelm your self-control. But it's been manageable. Based on your experience, you would imagine not being shot and at death's door is helping you not succumb to the problem.
Okay. Do the dreams feel, after a while, do they feel normal and repetitive? Am I getting used to them, or do they still come with the same level of tension and anxiety?
they would. I mean, there's definitely still tension and anxiety because every time it happens, you are feeling the compulsion to, like, it's something else is trying to override your will.
Okay.
And make you answer to it, and that is a fight. So I guess I'd say it's a mixed bag because every time you go to sleep.
So it's like being in combat zone. I know it's
you
familiar.
know you're about to get into a fight.
Okay.
But it's still a fight that you don't know, like, if you slip up this time,
Right.
what happens? Because, just to remind you and our listeners, last time you succumbed to this presence, you murdered a bunch of people and ripped open their necks with your teeth and drank their blood.
And as far as I'm concerned, I almost killed Levon too. That's what my
Sure.
character believes.
Sure.
Like, I was prepared
you
to
went.
do that.
Yeah, you were prepared. Definitely. Your mental state is you would have killed Levon, except there were threats out there
Right.
versus,
Right.
Levon wasn't pointing the gun at you. So,
Okay.
So you're dealing with that. Like I said, you guys are basically put on administrative duties around the camp, waiting for orders from Section M. So the Air Force is giving you, small tasks to do here and there. Although, except for Mr. Fisk, since you aren't technically a soldier, you're given a bit more freedom to go about your day. So if there's anything you wanted to do here in England, you'd have the ability. But at the same time, the military is kind of iffy about your presence. You got to step lightly because if you go into the wrong place, somebody might take offense. And then the fact that you're Italian in England, when I guess I don't know if
They've officially declared war.
they've officially declared war
In
with
June,
Italy.
after all the invasions done, it was like, yeah, us too.
Us too. Yeah. So tensions are a little high. You do run into people, kind of questioning whether you're a spy or not.
Call you a guinea.
Is that the
Yeah.
term for the time?
We watched Murder on the Orient Express last night too.
So
I'm the skinny little guinea. That's what they call me when I'm in town, unfortunately.
Wow, that's racist.
Yeah, they're a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
So, but life has been a bit easier given your recent adventures since you've been back in England, and Wing Commander Llewellyn receives a package intended for Captain Loveridge. It's sent to your office, but care of you for Captain Loveridge. And I imagine you get a note that just says from why am I forgetting his first name? Courtney Weld, from the office of Courtney Weld.
They would actually say Courtney Hathaway Weld. He puts
Hathaway.
the whole thing in
That's
there.
what I missed. Courtney Hathaway Weld, which was the guy who sent Evie McCree to be your. So that's where we find ourselves.
Okay.
I imagine we open up on the office. I imagine everybody's gathered together to find out what.
I'm sorry. Can we back up during the
Okay.
downtime? I'd like to read up more on vampires, and I'm not looking. I have no idea what I'm looking for, so I probably would end up with not actual good sources.
I mean, Bram Stoker is probably.
I would be looking at other mythologies as well.
Okay.
So if I could find a book of myths about vampires and that kind of stuff, it doesn't need to necessarily reflect anything on my sheet. I just want it to be put down that I'm actually doing this and trying to figure out what's going on.
Just don't include any of that running water crap. That's trash. That's not real.
I guess
That's
what
not
I'm
real
saying-
vampire stuff.
I'm not looking for mythos tomes, but eventually this may lead in that direction. So
Okay.
there needs to be. I feel like there needs to be some justification along the line.
Yeah.
along
He's just
the
been
way.
sitting in his room watching Nosferatu on loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that running water thing was one vampire who was afraid of bridges. He was like, "Oh yeah, I can't cross running water. I want to, can't do it."
And then all of a sudden, all vampires can't do it. Bunch of racist.
Well, give me a
They're
library use roll,
posers, is what they are.
which is base 25.
Yeah, sure. I'll roll that. Why not? I got a 51. So that is a giant failure.
Yeah. So I mean, there are
No,
what are
that's a
they?
lot.
What are they
Never
called?
mind.
Penny. There are hundreds of Penny Dreadful novels.
I will read them
Yeah.
with my one good eye.
And everything is basically a variation on what Stoker said.
Okay.
The traditional crosses, garlic, can't go out in the day, can't be seen in the mirror.
Luckily, we have an Italian with us.
And I have
Have to be invited in.
I have noticed none of those things with me.
No. So you would have read Stoker, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is there a propensity for having giant white hair that kind of looks like a butt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do I want to wear a
Oh
cape?
yeah.
Well, in Dracula, there's the character of Renfield, and
Sure.
this is where John admits he's never actually read the novel of Dracula. I can only go off the many, many, many variations of movie Renfields.
Oh, can I be the Renfield from the TV show with Matthew Reese?
I have
Not
no idea what
Dracula
that's-
Dead and Loving It.
No.
That's what I thought.
It's a full-on TV show, and Renfield's like this giant, burly black dude, and he is awesome. He's also the
what
guy.
show is? You've yet to say
It's
the title
Dracula.
of the show. Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's called Dracula.
I think
I don't know that show.
I think Renfield is more traditionally I don't want to say Weasley, but
Nebbish.
Nebbish. Yeah, that's.
Weasley's a good word.
Uh,
I mean, it really
Well,
is.
So I was listening to a podcast where they said the definition of nebbish is when you feel that when someone enters a room and you feel like someone has left the room because their presence is that diminished.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harsh. I'm going to start using that.
Yeah. I haven't looked it up, but I was like, yeah, that's a good.
Have the book.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, the character of Renfield, strikes some chords in that you feel the present. Like you don't have the direct presence because again, the thing that did this to you is locked away somewhere else, and you aren't in direct contact with it, as Renfield seemed to have been. You don't have the urge to consume small life, but like when going near the medical facility and seeing somebody who's got an open wound, you have like an urge to go consume the blood.
Or like if I was looking over somebody's shoulder at a paper, I might notice their neck where I wouldn't have no.
Sure.
Okay.
But the first thing I would do would be to contact Captain Loveridge and inform him he has a package and ask if we would like to get the rest of the group together.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see a reason not to. I trust these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Levon's a guinea, but he's a good one.
Dude,
oh God.
dude, no, no. Please don't make me have to walk out of another room this week.
Well, you've heard the disclaimer at the beginning of the
That's
show.
right.
We
Yeah,
we
that's
use
true.
the terms from the era for historical purposes.
How did the British feel about the Welsh? I'm like legit question.
I mean,
Everybody's different.
yeah, they
Is it
basically
just like their weird next door neighbors?
It was all sort of part of the empire at that point.
That they have to subjugate. Yeah, like
yeah.
the Scots.
Or the Indians? Or, yeah, that was
Really?
the right word.
The entire world.
They never really subjugated Russia. They married in.
Oh, they tried.
They did.
They tried. Didn't work.
Okay, we're done. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
all
Sorry.
right. So, in Commander Llewellyn's office, there is a box wrapped in brown paper, just, mail box or a mail package, addressed to Captain Loveridge.
All this talk of mail packages and never mind. Go on.
And your testicle still
My
hurts.
testicle still hurts.
So you unwrap the brown paper, and there's a letter in an envelope, and then a box.
Wrapped
I
in
would say
wax
I would
paper?
say a modern, like slightly smaller than a tissue box, wrapped in a waxed paper.
Okay.
So you open the letter.
It says, and I'll read it out loud. It says, Captain Loveridge, I have news. We made a discovery that should alleviate your condition. However, the process is not without risk. Included, you will find several items you will need, but there are more you must acquire on your own.
And then,
Is that caution?
yeah, that's
Okay.
part of the letter.
It says caution. It also says caution: do not expose the contents of the second box to direct sunlight. So
We got ourselves a gremlin.
And then I'll just point out for atmospheric effect, you can tell that when he wrote the word news, he was hesitant. He seemed unsure of how to add that in. And
Yeah.
then the word should is
emphasize.
emphasized.
Sure, that makes sense.
So I imagine you then take a moment to cover any windows that might be
Yeah,
in the office
yeah,
before proceeding.
yeah. I mean, you're
I about say I didn't expect my office to have windows.
you're a wing commander. You probably have windows. I
nice.
mean, you got some rank here.
You might be in a tent or
Yeah.
a less than permanent structure because of the war or the what's going on.
I mean, your windows look out on the dumpster in the back, but you still have windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you close the curtains, do
Yeah.
a decent job of covering up the sunlight because of the note.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, it's wrapped in wax paper and then sealed in several areas
Sealed with wax.
with wax. Yeah.
Is there a seal in it, or is it just wax?
No, it's just solid wax. I'll just say, because it's going to come up in the next message. It's clear that this was meant to discourage tampering or show obvious signs of tampering if it had
Okay.
occurred.
Okay.
It's you would know if somebody had gotten rewrapped the outer box or
Okay.
the outer thing. So he's taking precaution after precaution.
Okay. So I open it, and inside there are 4 vellum pages. One page has a sigil, which I will turn around and show everybody. It's clearly a magic for search engine optimization. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's what I
SOE,
saw.
yeah,
Yeah.
or SOE, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's on the vellum.
The other 3 pages include copies of a chant. Says this package was sealed in wax. If the seal appears tampered with, you may be compromised. Please read all instructions fully before proceeding. The vial contains the essence of the source of the affliction.
So the vial is a lead crystal vial. When you look at it, it's black ash, and that urge you feel when you see blood kind of wells up in you. And you want to consume what's in that. You have the urge to consume it, but like before, you're able to tamp that down. I imagine probably put it back in the box because it was when you saw it that it welled up in you.
Yeah. You need a vessel made of silver, a chalice, or bowl, for example. The sigil included must be engraved at the bottom of the reservoir of the vessel. Here's the bad news. There is no cure for this condition other than death, in which case it is highly recommended that the corpse be decapitated and the head buried apart from the rest of the corpse. The only relief from this condition is to transfer it to another. Once a new victim has been selected, put the contents of the vial into the vessel. The person suffering from the curse must be bled into the created vessel. The included text must be chanted throughout the process, so it is recommended that a second person be enlisted for this task more if possible. The person or persons chanting should be of strong will, as the process is taxing. The sigil in the vessel holds the power of the curse for a few minutes. The cursed... What?
Nothing. I left a note out, but it's
The
fine.
cursed blood must be ingested by the new victim. The original cursed victim must be bled up to the point of death. It is suggested that a blood transfusion be started beforehand. All indications are that the blood transfusion will not interfere with the process, but none of that has been tested. Best of luck, Courtney.
Okay, so we need to bleed you into a bowl.
Yeah.
Feed that blood to
Someone
else, while also letting you almost bleed to death.
I mean,
Is that about right?
It does.
And then cut off the head of the person that we feed this to.
I mean, unless we release them into the wild, which I don't.
I
think
would
is a
not
good idea.
suggest. Just
No.
it doesn't
This is
say,
not
but
catch and release program.
I'm assuming it has to be a human. We
It does
can't do
say-
this to a cow.
It does say person.
Okay.
All right, guys, we go back in time. Let's get baby Hitler, turn him into a vampire, and kill him.
You sounded a little like Trump.
I
as
was
you
like,
said
okay.
that.
I was like, yes,
Oh.
Mr. President.
Oh, no. I'm just saying that's all we need to
Okay,
do.
baby Hitler. Baby
Hitler, baby Hitler, baby Hitler, baby Hitler.
I'm
He's going
s-
to edit all of
I'm
this.
saying no because I've seen Kung Fury.
Is baby Hitler in Kung Fury? Oh, no, Hitler. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hitler in
The Kung Fu
To
master
the best
known as
of-
Hitler.
To the best of my knowledge, do we have any German soldier prisoners?
Not in. I don't think so. Would they have been carting back prisoners of war at this point?
Possible. Yes, I know. At least in my game, there are definitely German prisoners,
Okay.
but I don't know that my character would be aware of that.
I mean, I can put an inquiry.
I requisition one German prisoner. You will not get him back.
Yeah, just one you're not going to miss.
Slightly used.
We can send him back in separate bags.
Yeah. Find the biggest turd you can, send him over, take care of him.
Someone we wouldn't feel bad about doing this to.
That's right.
I mean, I'm just saying you're planning the murder of a human being, so
They're
sanity
Nazis.
checks-
They're not human
Oh.
beings.
Planning the execution of a prisoner.
Of an enemy combatant.
Yes, I'm kind of
Yeah.
more okay with
And the
this.
Geneva Conventions don't exist yet, so
Also, at this point in
there
time,
will be sanity checks if this plan goes forward.
Yeah. I will point out that soldiers were, and I believe still are, taught to view enemy combatants as non-human.
Yeah.
I know there's that one episode of Black Mirror, but
Also, in the rules of war of World War II, if they're not wearing a uniform, they're a spy and they're allowed to be killed.
okay. Not if they were caught in uniform, then you put them in
No,
plain
no.
clothes.
If you find them in plain clothes, they're considered a spy and allowed to be
Sure.
murdered,
Sure.
executed on sight. That's the rule.
Also, the Jewish officers okay murdering Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's not common knowledge yet.
They're
I mean, there are reports coming out, but it's not considered
Well-
common knowledge.
Well,
Right.
we don't know about the concentration
No,
camps.
you
but
don't know.
we
You
do
guys
know
aren't
the
being
Nazis
treated
were.
you know
well.
they're rounding people up and
But you don't know.
Yeah.
labeling them
Yeah.
and doing
right.
not great legislation against them and all that stuff. So anyway, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Well, you're the one with the disease.
Yeah, how much do we know about your condition? I mean, is this
I've been pretty open.
okay? All right,
At
you're
this
you're
point.
you're openly vampire. Like half.
He came out of the coffin.
I mean,
He's
could you just
nice.
choose not to be a vampire?
Yeah.
I mean, being a vampire is a choice. Come on,
born
you're
this
just
way.
you're just doing it for attention.
Well, we do know he wasn't born this way. That's what we do know.
Wow. You guys are all terrible.
Some people are vampires. Some people are werewolves. It's a thing.
He was tricked into it. Didn't know what he was doing.
I'm really afraid of this vampire agenda where they're going to start recruiting our
Right.
children.
Right. That's what the summer camps are for, you know.
Children are tasty.
So, what would we like to?
It's like veal.
Well, Captain Loveridge, this is your condition.
Yeah, but the three of you are going to help me murder a guy. Are we all good with that?
Well, how many Nazis have we already killed?
I think you and I both know there's a difference between in the moment of combat shooting someone to save your life and then watching someone who is completely helpless get their head cut off.
Now, if
I'm
we could
not
Well, we don't
saying-
have to kill them by cutting their head off. We could kill them then cut their head off.
It does say that.
Also, is there much
Fair.
of a difference between that and putting them in front of a firing squad or hanging?
Yeah, are there any like legit, like awful, like monstrous prisoners that we could get?
I've never been part of an execution detail. Hence,
Yeah.
hence my objection, my concern.
Yes.
All I'm saying is I'm not making that decision for the three of you. I can't.
Yes.
Well,
Also,
I'm a sniper, so I've killed people from 300 meters away before. I don't mind.
But also as an out-of-character reference, my character is not particularly religious,
Okay.
but someone who is might view it as damning their souls as well.
Yeah. So I mean, how is Levon? I mean, Levon's feelings on this are
Well, he's
might be
Italian, so
questioned.
that means he's got to be Catholic.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
While
also
we're feeding into
but I'm also an adult, which means I'm no longer Catholic.
Well, and Jack
That's
is
what I thought,
Canadian,
too.
so he clearly follows the order of the poutine.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen what's happened to my country, and I have no love for any of these people on this. That sounds bad, but any of
those people.
yeah, right.
Was the Pope complicit in Mussolini's takeover?
Nope, because he doesn't live in Italy. He lives in the Popeville.
Vatican.
Yeah, the Vatican is its own city, its own country, does not have anything to do with
Yeah.
Italian politics except
Okay.
for all of it.
I
But
think
was it
the
was
Pope
the Pope
was-
complicit
he
in that he
was-
didn't speak out against Mussolini?
At the time, Mussolini's uprising was not seen as that bad.
Yeah, so he
So-
probably was. So he
yeah.
probably was.
I mean,
That's
it
what I'm
turned
saying.
real bad real quick, but the Pope just kind of was like, I'm going to stay on my side of the wall.
I mean, it did take us
Yeah.
a couple decades. Sorry, I say us because I was raised Catholic. It did take the church several decades to acknowledge the Holocaust and how that was a problem. So I imagine they didn't speak up about Mussolini at the time.
right.
Some
But from what I've seen, like from when I was there, it was
Right.
going not in the direction I like.
Sure.
So, and I don't. I kind of hate these people for turning my country into what was a beautiful place into this trash they're trying to do.
Let me just share this little historical nugget. The start and
Out of
this is
character from Wikipedia.
Yeah, out of character, and this is from Wikipedia. The start of the pontificate of Pius XII occurred at the time of the Second World War and the Nazi Holocaust. So Pius XII was the Pope at the time. Pius employed diplomacy to aid the victims of the Nazis during the war, and through directing his church to provide discreet aid to Jews and others, saved hundreds of thousands of lives. Pius maintained links to the German resistance and shared intelligence with the Allies. His strongest public condemnation of genocide was, however, considered inadequate by the Allied powers, while the Nazis viewed him as an Allied sympathizer who had dishonored his policy of Vatican neutrality. So he
played Switzerland a lot.
He played a lot of Switzerland,
Okay.
but he also did have some humanitarian aid
Yeah,
out there. It's
yeah,
just
okay.
that he had the ability to do more and chose not to,
So,
or that's how it's viewed.
so
Yeah.
I would say, probably then he didn't speak up against Mussolini, and because that would have potentially gotten
Right.
them invaded, and
Sure.
he probably didn't have a standing military to fight that off.
He's got the Swiss Guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a dozen of them.
I think he has more than that.
I think he
but
does.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, as
So-
compared to the
halberds.
Italian army, yeah,
he still would have won. The Italian army's kind of trash.
I'm told the Swiss Guard are like elite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of cheese.
So, what's the plan? What do you guys want to do about this?
Oh, let's go.
I see one of two options. We find a legitimate prisoner who is not connected to the Nazis, who just needs to die, and we find a way to get a hold of him, or her, I guess, but him. Or we see if we can find a Nazi that they're going to execute anyway, and go that direction. Because if I think if we can convince Courtney to help back us, there will be more weight carried with the request.
Yeah.
Those are my two options. I'm not killing anyone innocent. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. I think-
Or we just drive around town, first person cuts us off.
Sure. Yeah.
this.
That's how I
No,
usually operate.
You
yeah.
drive around
This
at
sounds
night
rather
with your
21st
headlights off.
century.
And the first person to flash the lights at you.
That's exactly
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. and
This is the beginning of the urban legend
well,
right
and,
here.
and, and because we're out looking for blood, I think we should call ourselves the Bloods.
No. I'm a vampire, and I have to stay certain places. I'll be a crip.
And you're wearing a blue T-shirt.
I
So,
am.
Okay. All right.
It's right in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whoever's in charge of executing people. I guess we talked to them.
Are we familiar?
Excuse me. Can I speak to the execution department?
I'm sure.
please?
I'm sure it's the military police department.
Just look for the gentleman in the black hood.
Right.
Are we?
Smoking a cigarette by the gallows.
Yeah. You want to kill somebody? Yeah, hang on. Over here.
Are we aware of the prisoners that were captured at the Miser House from the other group, the A team?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can at least put
Hey,
it in an inquiry.
Can we put
Okay.
an ad in Craigslist?
Here's a backup question. We took like a body from the village or something, right? I remember doing something like that.
We took the Wendigo's body, didn't we?
There's another thing that I know that it wasn't the Wendigo. It was not the previous mission, the mission before that. I think didn't we?
Time cave.
Yeah, I feel like we took one of the.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think we brought it back with us.
I thought we did. I swear. I remember that we're going to really carry this body through all the woods and everything. Like, yeah, let's do it. I remember that. So that way the whoever medical people could examine it.
That's true. But they were dead.
Well,
The-
they
the-
can already be dead. I don't know if there's a time limit on how long they're dead. So what we could do is get a corpse, fill that with your boogie blood, chop its head off.
It does say we have to drink. They have to drink it. So
Can we just pour it down their gullet?
Yeah.
just rub their throat like a dog.
I think.
Yeah,
I think our best option is a prisoner or a Nazi.
One of us sitting on top.
All
of
right.
him,
Ideally, a
CPR.
Nazi prisoner.
We
I
can
mean,
do that
it's-
first. I'm just saying. It's a super duper backup plan. Maybe.
If somebody wants to roll occult on, can we just use a corpse to transfer the curse?
Let's
Or
see.
an animal.
My
Or
occult,
an animal?
my occult score is 5.
What do we got?
That's 100.
Oh,
That's a
Could we
that's a
just,
critical fail, isn't it?
could we get Courtney on the radio?
We could just go
I mean, you
visit
could,
him.
yeah. I mean, you are on the continent, and it is like a 2-hour or
Well, we can.
it's a several-hour drive up and down the entire.
I mean, hold on. What's a critical
Couldn't-
fail on an occult lookup, though? Like the pages stick together, and we and we start going
The-
with a plan for like
Yes.
for fishmen.
It's like from Friends
Yeah,
when she accidentally makes the trifle and
and adds gravy. Yeah.
I figured it was like you look in a book, you get a finger paper cut, and you go, forget it, and just walk away.
No, you get a paper cut and you bleed into the book, and that's never a good thing.
And then it becomes possessed. And
Now the book's a vampire.
The
It's like-
book is a vampire.
It's like Bunnicula, but with a book.
Bookula, yeah.
Or you
Bunnicula.
just created the. Dang it! I'm gonna flood
Necronomicon?
the reference. No, the Harry Potter, the books.
Oh, the monstrous manual.
Yeah.
The Monster Manual, yeah.
Anyway, so if you want to try to go visit Courtney, you can.
Well, I just thought
an
it'd be
option.
easier to get them on the radio because that way I don't have to request.
Yeah.
Well, they
time
wouldn't
away
want you to
from
use
the-
the radio, but they could.
Mhm.
You might be able to get them on the phone.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to call and talk to him directly over the phone?
I mean, that seems the easiest way. I mean, we can go there if we'd like. Is the train system running in
Yeah,
England at this
everything.
point?
They haven't been bombed yet.
That's a weird phone call to get. Hey, we need a prisoner.
No,
mean,
Best
no.
if you don't ask.
No, I was like, we need some. I just need some
Clarification.
clarification.
Yeah.
What
I
do you
mean,
mean
the
by
other
person?
the other thing that I'll just put out there as probably coming up in the middle of the conversation is wartime. He sent a double sealed letter through
Yeah.
through the
True.
post. He could have called you.
Well, but he couldn't have called us the Vial.
Sure.
Right.
But he could have,
Yeah.
picked up the phone
think
and
about
called
that.
you.
Yeah.
We should
And
probably.
didn't want
we
to
should
talk
probably
about
just-
that over the line. That's probably like every phone line has probably got a listener.
Yeah, that's a good point. We
During
probably
the
should
war.
just go then.
Yeah. Can we? Can I get the time off? I forget the.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Leave.
Yeah. I'm sure you can take a day off.
Well, I mean, it's official business, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You do work for Section M, which is where,
But we should at least call and say, "Hey, can we come up?
sure,
Will you be home?"
yeah.
I guess.
Hey, you up?
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you call and arrange a time, not today, but the next day. Be there bright and early in the morning, and he'll see you at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody want to do anything in the meantime? Finish out the day, or should we just cut to the office?
Repack everything so that it can't be seen by light.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And then, how do I find an engraver that's not going to ask too many questions?
I would imagine.
Money talks.
Is there a streetwise?
Yeah.
Well, I suggest we go with our spy
Yeah.
and see if he knows a guy who knows a guy.
You got a lot of contacts in England.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
and
Good one, Ed. I appreciate that one.
That's what
yes, I have contacts in England. That's why I'm here.
Okay. I'm trying to what
I have.
espionage is very
espionage.
high.
Yeah, espionage. That'd be the one to go with.
Okay.
I hadn't gotten to that part of the list.
now you roll the dice and see
Okay.
if you get under it. Did you forget how to play?
No, I got under it. I just didn't know it's success. I got a 37.
Sure.
What's your score normally?
83.
So you got a hard success.
Yeah.
We do need to start telling Johnny the level of success so that
Yes.
he can, because it's not like, I kind of made it, but like if you were like, well, I got an extreme success or I got a critical, then that might
It's
change.
I got
so
an
it's
extreme
regular.
success.
Regular, hard, extreme, critical.
Okay.
What's critical?
One.
One.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
always
Okay.
a one.
Get a critical, you just find one already carved.
I got it.
With exactly the words you wanted on it.
You have it in your backpack.
So which was this, hard or extreme?
Hard.
Okay. So not at 1/5.
Correct.
Okay. Just because I'm getting the terminology straight
Yes,
in my head.
I am at. I am under half.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know a guy. You knew a guy who fenced holy relics into England, and so he has contacts here. You know the art dealer to go to.
Okay.
He runs basically a furniture and fine what's the right word? Housewares.
Sundries.
Yeah, like
Upholstery,
he deals in
It's Crate and Barrel.
estates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
got it. It's World War II Crate and Barrel.
Yes. But it was the guy he sold to when he shipped things to when he came to England, and you're fairly certain you can leverage your connections to get what you need
Okay.
from that guy.
Okay.
So you've got a guy to talk to.
Okay. Hey guys, I got a guy to talk to about engraving. He's got like furniture and stuff.
Excellent.
If I were to be able to look into the future, I'd say it's like Crate and Barrel. You guys don't know what that means, though. Neither do I.
His name's Mr. Crate.
His name's Mr. Crate.
Is this partner
Pronounced
Mr. Barrel?
Barell.
Crate and Barrel.
Creighton Barell. His name is Creighton Barell.
Crate and Barrel.
Write it down.
Write it down.
We got there.
Write it down.
We got
Write it
there.
down.
Mile out of our way, but we got there.
All right. So you go to the offices of Barell and Stein Imports. They're importer. That's they're
He's an importer
he's-
exporter.
Yeah, he's an importer
So
exporter.
he's part of the mob.
Yeah. Barell and Stein Importers.
These need to be our sponsors. these need to be the sponsors.
This episode of
Along-
Masks of Nyarlathotep brought to you by Barell and Stein Importers.
and
Or-
Fish and
yeah,
Wolf
well,
Fishman LLC.
That's right. The offices
Yes.
of Wolf Fishman.
Ask for crate and barrel. Give you a really good deal on something made of wood. I don't know.
Forged documents, forged silverware.
Forged silverware. This isn't real silverware at all.
It's 10.
What?
That one got me. I don't know.
Can't eat with this, you jerk.
We're on food rations. Why do I need an ice cream scoop? It brings me joy.
It's in a fork. It's just 3 pencils wrapped together.
Paper cutouts. Oh, my.
So yeah, like I said, you think you got a guy that you can get to create this object that you need without too much hassle. So that's definitely something you can do. Why did I close the document? Anyway.
So do we want to get that started before we leave?
Yes.
Yeah, might as well.
We got time, right?
Okay.
That way, if he has to order like a silver thing.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So you guys head out over there.
To Barell and Smith.
Yep.
Stein.
Barell and Stein.
Oh, sorry.
Barell
Yes.
and Stein.
Sorry. Yes. I only know one of the guys.
It's actually Barell and Stein's monster. Barell and Stein is the name of the creator. Thank you.
I was
you
waiting.
hillbilly.
Waiting for this. This is just a really ugly chair. Is that what that is?
It's a bunch of chairs just cobbled together.
Wow.
It's got 5 legs for some reason.
It's like an ottoman that somebody just stapled a back on.
It's a chair now.
There's also 2 random bolts coming out of the
Sure.
side.
That's right. You pull them out, then the top of the chair just falls off.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Okay.
You good, John?
No. I come in here. I'm like, okay, I got to tell a tale of eldritch horror and mythic struggles, and
And we got to
Barell
Barell
and
and Stein's monster. Yeah.
Yep.
all my mental preparation just out the window.
Worked hours on this.
We're keeping you on your feet.
I've been seeing all the memes lately of I try to seduce the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically doing the same thing
Yeah.
to you.
Ugh.
You're going to
Yeah.
seduce the chair.
I'm gonna seduce the chair.
Get it.
Do I
All right.
have a score for seduction? No, I don't.
Charm.
Charm.
Charm. Okay. What's my charm score?
Or apt.
15. Yeah. No, that's actually what's sad is that's in real life too.
Or apt. So, yes, the import office. We didn't establish where exactly the base was. I imagine somewhere on the channel, the coast with the channel,
Sure.
because they would have wanted to go into Europe.
Sure.
So, the contact is in the city. Let's say the contact is in London.
Because
Where
that's the only
It's the
city
only
in
city
England
in
you
England,
know.
yeah. You're gonna go to London to talk to Courtney anyway.
Okay. I was about to ask where Courtney was.
In London, where the Section M's headquarters are. So, do you want to overnight it, or do you want to, go in? Do you want to go to the city tonight and stay, and then see Courtney in the morning, or do you want to just do all the errands?
I would like to go to the city tonight.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah, we could take in a show, get some dinner. It'll be nice.
I was just going to go to a bar and not have to deal with, crazy, all the military people and relax for a night. But a show, sure.
Yeah.
We could see Les Mis.
We could see. You're gonna have to cut that. Actually, no, she's never gonna listen.
Sorry. And then we could go again in like October, November
Right.
and see Les Mis again in London.
I want to punch you in the mouth right now.
Sorry.
No, I don't. I love you, man. That's funny.
All right. So you guys are headed to London. And like I said, it takes probably a couple hours to get there.
Yeah.
But you get there, and the shop is still open. They're about to close when you enter.
I will have made a copy, just real quick, to draw out this thing, so I'm not handing in the one copy we have of the.
A real
sigil.
quick copy or a.
I'm going to take my time to draw that copy,
Okay.
that sigil out correctly.
You want to give me a cartography roll or a
Is there a forgery skill?
forgery skill? Yeah.
And does our Senior Fisk have forgery?
No, it's just
Okay.
base.
Forgery's at 1, base 1.
Art would be another one.
Art would be another option.
5.
I mean, cartography is drawing maps.
No, yeah.
But again, if you can copy a map, then you can probably copy
Cartography's not on here.
We don't have cartography.
We
We
have
have
cryptography.
cryptography.
cryptography. That's what I
a
was.
totally different
Oh.
thing.
We have comptography.
I do
Yeah.
have cryptography, and that's
Yeah.
through the roof.
Do we have photography? We do have photography.
Yeah, actually,
Who's
no.
got?
Ooh, photo interpretation. What would
No,
that be?
photography doesn't exist anymore. It needs to come off there. It goes under art.
Okay.
Ah.
What's photo interpretation?
So could we use cryptography for that, or was that just a
Is there a lark?
a misunderstanding of?
I mean,
cartography?
cryptography is deciphering code.
How
so
hard is it to draw
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing by
Well, it's
putting
also-
another piece of paper on top of it
I was
and
about to say it's-
tracing?
I'm going to need some kind of roll to see how well you do because it's a very exact. Well,
Is-
you don't know because you guys failed your occult rolls.
Could we?
I think it's fair to know that it's an exact, like we have to have the exact thing on it.
Okay.
Could I make the argument that cryptography is also creating puzzles? I mean, if not, no, it's all good. But
You know what? No, give it to him. We're going to go see Courtney. He has the original. Worst case, we can just get another one. Or make somebody with art
Let's-
there do it.
And
Oh.
kill a second person?
No, I'm saying another drawing.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're willing to give up your original copy.
Well, not the original copy. What Courtney sent us probably is not the original copy, right?
No, your copy.
Right.
Your original copy.
Right, because Courtney has the where it came from originally. We can just
Yes.
get another copy from him if absolutely needed.
Yes.
Then that's fine.
is that symbol the only thing on that piece of vellum?
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, we were gonna cut it out
Yeah.
because we don't need to freak the
I mean, it doesn't
civilians
look
out.
that hard, but yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure there are,
The-
occultish reasons that I
The
can't
number
draw.
of bumps on those two squiggle lines has to be exact. One less, one more. It all up.
Oh,
He just dropped it for the
I
first
know.
time.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
But none of you made your occult roll, so none of you actually know that. So
Right.
I mean, it's good enough.
It's good enough.
Close enough.
what's the Evil Dead phrase?
I said it.
I
Well,
didn't say every single syllable, but yeah, basically I said it.
I said most of it.
Basically.
This is like the spelling bee.
Yeah.
Klaatu Barada Nick.
Well then, that's it.
All right. So, like I said, you go into a building, the offices of Barell and Stein. It's a small office attached to, obviously, a warehouse storage facility. When you enter the showroom, let's say, it's just packed floor to ceiling with
Bargains.
yes. Heavy oak antique furniture. There's a
He doesn't want to make a lot of money. He just loves to sell furniture.
I don't know what the movement for that is. Just do that.
okay. So like I said, you walk in. There's a ornamental set of armor standing in the corner. It would have like a shield with a family crest on it, but that's not present.
Shield not included.
Yeah. Well, you'd want to put your own on there.
Oh,
So,
sorry. I've been playing a lot of the Resident Evil 2 remake, so I just want to find a shield and put it in his hand so I can get a item.
yeah.
It's the IKEA of armors.
Yeah.
Some assembly required.
Several large armoires around the room.
Again, IKEA.
Yeah. Heavy, a really nice banquet table or a dining room table, if you will, with a good set of matched chairs. Although there's only 7. You would think there would be 8, but something happened to one of them, I guess.
They chopped it up for Barell and Stein's monster.
I just assumed like a big guy was sitting in it. He was like, "I do what I want." Just jumped up and down on it until it broke.
See, I was going with some guy named Corbin Dark. He smashed it against the original owner, and then used it to bust his way through a window.
Yeah.
And that's
That was a Corbin Dark.
it's a reference to
That was John Byrne.
John Byrne. Sorry, wrong character. Anyway,
I liked his reference better.
yeah. So like I said, candelabras, chandeliers, all, basically you name it as a decorative piece, you can probably find one tucked away on one of the shelves. And then there's, like I said, there's a bell on the door. Or I didn't say, but there's a bell on the door. A few moments later, a middle-aged man in a careworn suit comes out of the back room and stands behind the display case and says, "Greetings, gentlemen. Member, I assume are you civilian clothes or uniformed?"
I think we should keep it low key.
So civilian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Greetings, gentlemen. How may I help you?
We are looking for a piece in silver, maybe a bowl or a chalice of some sort. Not real concerned about what kind of piece it would be, but more that the bowl needs to be yay big, and I'll give him the right size. And we need something
Size was not specified.
right, but big enough that we can carve it in there appropriately.
Okay.
That size. So yay big. And then I need something engraved in it, and I don't want a lot of questions.
I see.
You're so bad at this.
Don't say. I don't want any questions because then they're going to ask questions.
At least it's someone else this time. I always got that. I always hear you talk, and then I say the wrong thing according to everyone else. It's nice for someone else to have to live through that for once.
It's the only way to
My
learn.
subtlety is 0.
I know. Yeah. No. I'm with you.
Do we have a subtlety score?
No.
One of us probably should have.
I have a
Yeah.
We would have
I
been
mean,
better at it.
I have a
Yes.
murder you in the dark score, and it's pretty high.
That's good.
Talking, not my favorite.
I mean, technically, Fisk, this is your contact.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
But I can take over if you'd like.
but
So,
somebody else can pick
anyway,
these pieces
so he's
up.
like, well, I'm sure we can accommodate that request. Perhaps not to be indelicate, but the gentleman might give me a price range to work with so that I can do,
That's a solid point. I assume we have officers pay,
whatever
would make sense for a decent piece that isn't terribly expensive. I don't know if I would know what that looks like.
Would you have a number in mind?
Sure, less than a week's worth of pay.
Okay. You want to put a whole week's worth of pay into it?
I'm gonna die and turn into a vampire. Yeah, I'm willing to pay a whole week's worth of pay for this.
Look,
I
we need a silver bowl, right?
Yeah.
Silver's not that expensive. It's not like gold prices. So
Would
precious, but not-
Reese have a good idea of what kind of that would cost? He does come from a military kind of well-off family.
Sure.
Should I
so-
make up a number or?
Well, I mean, if you're willing, I'm just saying, what? Yeah, I guess.
I have a question. Is the guy in the well-worn suit, is he the guy that I know here, or is this the guy that just works there?
You haven't asked yet. You've not met him. He's a contact of a contact. So you would have to introduce yourself and ask. No one's asked his name yet.
Oh, okay.
It would be very. I mean, I was trying to hint at that you could easily go. Instead of going, yeah, we're looking for a bowl to carve, to engrave.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm a friend of. Make up a contact name.
Right.
I'm in search of Mr. Barell, is he available?
Okay.
And that would,
Is Creighton in the house?
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I tell him to shut up, and I say,
Captain
Dip
Love,
it.
yeah,
pointing
like-
to Captain
I
Loveridge.
turn off the lights and I murder him.
yeah.
Give me check your skill. Give me the roll now.
I'm gonna say that. Hey, we're getting ahead of ourselves. You're talking about price. We don't even know each other, or we might.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Mr. Barell. My name's Levon. Fisk.
Not so sure about that last name. My name's Levon. Make up a name. Fisk. Shit.
Well, I didn't know if I was revealing too much or whatever, but screw it. I'm going for it. So.
He says, I am Creighton Barell. Are we familiar with each other? You gotta ask his name.
Yeah, no,
right.
No, you're right. It's just like this stupid thing that I could have unlocked ages ago. It's like there, I did it.
Yeah.
It was just, that's all. Yeah.
I am Creighton Barell. Are we acquainted, sir?
We have people that know each other that know us. So, in a manner of speaking, yes, we do know each other.
Our mutual acquaintance would be.
That mutual acquaintance
You
would
want-
be
Give me a minute. I got the internet.
Mrs. Burrell. If you can't.
I
find her.
begged her. I know.
Bald assery. What the fuck? What is that name? Bald assery.
Where are you looking at?
Bald assery Moscow.
Baldessore.
I know Baldessore Moscow. Moscow? Yeah.
All
that
right.
guy.
Yeah.
He sounds Italian.
I'm sorry. That was just a jumble. They just threw the letter dice. Yeah. Was
Yeah,
it
it's-
Boggle?
I mean, it's fancy name generation, Italian name generator. I don't know.
Amatori Forno.
Yeah. So, and when you say that and drop that name, he kind of, gives that obvious like, oh, that is how we know each other. And he says, oh, it's been a long time since I have heard from my friend, Senior Moscow. It is good to make your acquaintance. And he's sort of like working his way around the room to the front door.
Yeah.
And he puts up the, closed sign and locks it and pulls down the shade. And he says, so, what exactly is it that we need again?
We're looking for a small or a bowl or a silver thing that we can hold popcorn in. No, that's bad. We can hold liquid in. Needs to be about yay big, is how he described it. And it needs to be silver with this engraving on it. And it needs to be
Pull that out and hand
yes,
it to him.
and it needs to be exact.
I see. Well, this design isn't extremely complicated, but how soon will you be needing it?
I say, give me 1 second. Ask my guys here. Oh, wait, I don't know.
Sooner
When do we
the
need
better.
Sooner the better.
Okay. Well, give me a few moments. I'm going to.
That's fast.
No, I have a few pieces that maybe will work for you. I'd be happy to show them to you.
Yes.
Give me just a few moments to pop into the back room and grab a couple of them. He, as he's making his way from the front door to the back office again, he reaches up, pulls down. Basically, there's a punch bowl, like it's kind of big, and then there's a set of silver-looking goblets that he puts down. He says, "Again, just a few moments," and starts heading to the back room.
Just imagine the punch bowl.
So he's going to leave our line of sight.
That's what he's intending to do.
I
he
think it
says.
might be a good idea for somebody to follow him.
Do you need any help carrying anything? And I'll walk after him.
Okay. He says, "No, don't trouble yourself. I have everything well in hand.
Can I get a psychology from somebody that's good with that? Like, can somebody want to see that this is bad, maybe? Because I've got a 16.
I got a 10.
Somebody else want to roll that?
Mine's just base.
Yeah, I'll roll it on base.
I'll roll the base.
Oh my gosh!
Ah,
I have the
shit.
best score. This is terrible.
You
Yeah,
got lucky
I
on
missed
one
it.
roll way back, and yeah.
Nope.
Remember, if you get close, we need to be lucky.
Nope.
Okay, I'll stop then. I don't see a problem with this whatsoever.
Okay. So you guys,
I guess we
Like-
all just stay there going, derp to derp, he's going in the back to get us a bowl.
And I'm also uncomfortable because I don't think some of us might be lightly armed, but
I'm gonna
We probably should have established that
I have
before
at
we
least
even
8
walked in
grenades
the
of
store.
stone. I probably am carrying a knife, but that's about it.
not
I can sense, they're a little wary of this. So when he goes in the back, I just turn like, look, I know you guys are nervous, but here's the thing: if he turns out to be a bad guy, we'll just murder the hell out of him, and then we'll get out of here.
And then we've got one-stop shopping, really.
but we don't have the.
And then we don't have to pay for it.
What if we just take a little glue and glue the vellum to the bottom of the bowl? Is that close enough?
Because we can just fudge the numbers on
Call
this
your
one.
boy. Call
do
your
you
boy.
want to
Let's
roll?
find out.
Do you want to roll a cult?
No.
I mean,
No, not yet.
Actually,
Not
you
yet.
know what? That is a great place for us to take a break this episode. We will come back next week to see how badly Mr. Barell is going to screw us over.
He hates us because of his name.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you next week. And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Head on over to our website at nerdsdom.com where you can find all of our social media links as well as how to contact us. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. If you want to support us, you can give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or head to our Patreon and become one of our patronuses. We want to thank Passion Early for our music. You can check out our show notes for all of these links as well.